Right now, there is $1.3 trillion with a T in credit card debt sitting on the shoulders of American consumers. That is a record, the highest number ever recorded in history. And the average person carrying a balance, they owe $6,523 at an average interest rate of around 22% every single year. You know what that means? That means the average American in debt is handing the bank over $1,400 a year just in interest, not paying down what they owe, just interest, gone, every 12 months, like clockwork. And here's the part that really gets me. Almost none of it was unavoidable. Most of that debt, the bulk of that $1.3 trillion, was built one small mistake at a time. A wrong swipe here, a misunderstood bill there, a habit that nobody ever sat them down and corrected. That is exactly what we are doing today. I am going to walk you through the 6 biggest beginner credit card mistakes that are quietly draining money out of your life, and I am going to tell you exactly what to do instead. No fluff, no filler, just the stuff that actually matters. And I want you to stay until mistake number 6, because that one alone could be the difference between your credit card costing you money versus making you money. Stick around, it is worth it. If you are new here, welcome to the Money POV. We talk about personal finance the way it should be talked about. Straight, real, and actually useful. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a video, because we drop new content every week and we do not waste your time. Let's get into it. Mistake number 1. Carrying a balance. Let's start with the most common one, and honestly, the most expensive one when you zoom out. Carrying a balance means you used your credit card, the bill came, and instead of paying the whole thing, you paid part of it and let the rest roll over into next month. Most people who do this do not even realize they are doing something wrong. They think, I made a payment, I'm good. But here's what's actually happening in the background. That leftover amount, the balance you carried over, is now being charged interest daily. The bank takes your annual interest rate, divides it by 365, and charges you that tiny slice every single day on whatever you still owe. It doesn't sound scary until you look at the actual rate. Right now, as of April 2026, the average credit card interest rate on accounts that are actually carrying a balance is 21.52%. Some cards are pushing 27%, 28%, even 36% for people with lower credit scores. Here's what that looks like in real money. Say you carry a $3,000 balance at 22% APR. If you only make minimum payments, which are usually somewhere around $30 to $60 a month on that balance, you'll spend over 11 years paying it off, and by the time you're done, you'll have paid well over $3,000 just in interest. You essentially bought the thing twice. And here's the thing nobody talks about. Credit card interest is one of the only kinds of debt that's completely optional for most people. A mortgage, most people need it. A car loan, understandable. Credit card interest, you don't have to pay a single cent of it as long as you pay your full statement balance before the due date. That's the rule. Pay your full statement balance, not the minimum, not half, the full amount, before the due date. If you do that, you pay 0 interest. The bank makes nothing off you on that front. You get the convenience, the rewards, the consumer protections, all for free. If you're worried about forgetting, set up AutoPay. Go into your account settings right now after this video and set your AutoPay to pay the full statement balance every month automatically. Not the minimum payment, the full statement balance. That one setting change is worth thousands of dollars over your lifetime. Mistake number 2. Making only the minimum payment. This one is so closely connected to the first mistake that a lot of people lump them together, but they're actually separate traps, and it's important you understand both. When your credit card statement arrives, it shows you two numbers. It shows you your statement balance, the total of everything you spent that month, and it shows you your minimum payment, usually something like $25, $35, maybe $50. That minimum payment number is deliberately designed to look manageable, because credit card companies profit when you only pay the minimum. Here's why. When you pay just the minimum, the rest of your balance carries over, and then interest kicks in. But it gets worse. Once you carry a balance, something changes about how your card works. You lose what's called the grace period. Normally, if you pay your full balance, you have somewhere between 21 and 55 days where new purchases don't accrue interest. But once you start carrying a balance, that grace period disappears. Every new purchase starts accruing interest immediately, sometimes from the day you swipe. So now you're paying interest on old purchases and new ones at the same time. You can see how fast this spirals. The Federal Reserve did a study on this and found that 47% of American credit card holders carry a balance, and of those people, 61%, more than half, have been in credit card debt for at least one full year, and 19% have been carrying that same debt for 5 years or more. This is not bad luck. This is the minimum payment trap doing exactly what it was designed to do. The fix is simple. Commit to paying your full statement balance every month, not the minimum, the full amount. Again, autopay, full statement balance. Set it and don't touch it. If right now you already have a balance you are carrying and you can't pay it all at once, that's okay. Make a plan. Put as much as you can toward it each month beyond the minimum. Even an extra $50 or $100 a month can cut years off your payoff timeline and save you hundreds in interest. Mistake number 3. Maxing out your credit limit. This one trips up a lot of people who are actually trying to do everything right. You got the card, you plan to pay it off, you're responsible, but you're still damaging your credit score without knowing it. Here's how. Your credit score is made up of 5 components. The second biggest one, which accounts for 30% of your total score, is called credit utilization. That's a fancy term for what percentage of your available credit are you actually using. If you have a $1,000 credit limit and you've charged $900 on the card, your utilization is 90%. That's extremely high, and it will hurt your credit score significantly. Most lenders and credit bureaus like to see utilization below 30%. The best credit scores typically belong to people who keep it under 10%. Now here's where people get confused. You might be thinking, but I pay my card off every month. Why would my utilization hurt me if I pay it off? Because of timing. Your credit card issuer reports your balance to the credit bureaus once a month, and they do it on what's called your statement closing date. That's the date your billing cycle ends, not the date your payment is due. Those are 2 different dates, usually separated by 21 to 25 days.
So, if your statement closes on the 15th and the Bureau sees you have $900 out of $1,000 used on the 15th, your credit report shows 90% utilization, even if you pay the whole thing off by the 10th of the following month. The damage is already done. There are 2 ways to handle this. First, try not to charge your card all the way up in the first place. Use it for regular spending, pay it down throughout the month if you can, and keep the balance modest relative to your limit. Second, if you know your statement closing date, try to pay down the balance before that date so the Bureau sees a lower number. And if you are just starting out with a low credit limit, like $300 or $500, do not get discouraged. Use the card lightly, pay it on time, and your limit will increase over time. Just do not charge it up to the ceiling every month. Mistake number 4. Taking a cash advance. This one is shorter because the advice is simple. Do not do it. A cash advance means you use your credit card to pull actual cash out of an ATM or a bank. Your card probably has a button for it. It feels like a debit card withdrawal, but it's nothing like a debit card withdrawal. When you take a cash advance, 3 things happen simultaneously, and none of them are good. First, the interest rate goes up. The average credit card cash advance APR right now is 24.48%, according to WalletHub. Some cards go even higher. That's already your regular rate plus a few percentage points. Second, interest starts immediately. There's no grace period on a cash advance. The second that cash hits your hand, interest starts accruing. Not after the due date, not after the statement closes. Right now. Today. Third, there's a fee. Most cards charge a cash advance fee of either $10 or 5% of the amount you withdrew, whichever is higher. So if you pulled $500, you're immediately down $25 just in the fee, before interest even starts. That combination, higher rate, no grace period, upfront fee, makes cash advances one of the most expensive financial moves you can make. There's virtually no scenario in normal everyday life where a cash advance makes sense. If you need cash, use your debit card or your actual bank account. Do not run it through your credit card. Quick break before we get into mistakes 5 and 6 is the big one. If you're getting value out of this, hit that subscribe button right now. We put out content every week that helps regular people actually understand how money works. No jargon, no nonsense, just real information you can use. Already subscribed? Leave a comment below. Tell me which of these mistakes surprised you the most. I read every single one. Mistake number 5. Not using old credit cards. This one is the opposite of what most people expect. You would think the worst thing you can do with a credit card is use it too much, but there's a mistake that comes from not using it enough. Here's the scenario. You have a card you opened a few years ago. It was your first card, maybe, or a store card you got at checkout because it offered 15% off that day. You have since moved on to better cards, and that old one just sits in your wallet, or worse, in a drawer somewhere, with a 0 balance and 0 activity. Sounds harmless. It's actually a problem for 2 reasons. Reason 1, credit issuers can close your account if you're not using it. This is called being closed for inactivity. And when they close it, 2 things happen to your credit score. Your total available credit drops, which raises your utilization ratio. And if it was an old account, your average age of credit history drops too. Length of credit history is 15% of your credit score. Losing an old card can ding your score significantly. Reason 2, even if they don't close it, a card sitting at 0 utilization is not actively helping you build or demonstrate credit responsibility. Lenders want to see that you can manage credit, not that you have credit sitting around untouched. The fix is almost too simple. Take that old card and put one small recurring charge on it, $1 or $2 towards an Amazon balance, a streaming service, a subscription you already pay for anyway. Set it to auto-pay the full statement balance every month. Now the card stays active, it's never going to accrue interest, and it keeps boosting your credit profile just by existing in your account history. This is one of those completely passive, zero-effort optimizations. Set it up once, forget it, and let it work for you in the background. Mistake number 6. Using the wrong credit card for your life. Alright, here we go. This is the one. This is the mistake that has the biggest real dollar impact, not over decades, but right now. And it's the one that almost nobody talks about when they teach basic credit advice. Most people get their first credit card the same way. The bank where they have their checking account offers them one, or they're standing at a register and the cashier says save 15% today if you open our store card, or their friend got one and they figured they should have one too. And none of those is inherently wrong. But here's the problem. None of those people sat down and thought, what do I actually spend money on, and what card gives me the most back for exactly that? Because here's the truth about credit cards. In 2026, the credit card rewards market is enormous. Banks and issuers are competing hard for your spending. That competition means there are genuinely incredible offers on the table: sign-up bonuses, cash back, travel points, perks, but only if you're intentional about which card you choose. Let me make this concrete with real numbers. If you know you're going to spend $500 in the next 3 months on groceries, gas, whatever your normal life costs, you could put that on a random card and earn maybe $5 to $10 in rewards. Or you could open a beginner card with a sign-up bonus and earn $200 cash back on that same $500 in spending. That's a 40% return on money you are already going to spend. That's not a trick, it's just matching the right card to your actual spending behavior. Here's another example. Say you spend a lot at the grocery store. I mean a lot, $400, $500 a month. A flat 1.5% cashback card gives you $6 to $7.50 per month, but a card that offers 5% back on your top spending category, like the Citi Custom Cash, gives you $20 to $25 on that same grocery spend. That's roughly $200 extra per year, just from picking the right card. Or think about travel. If you fly at all, even once or twice a year, there are cards that earn points which can dramatically reduce or eliminate the cost of that flight. The Capital One Venture X earns 2x miles on everything, 5x on flights, comes with a $300 annual travel credit, access to airport lounges worldwide, and a 10,000-mile anniversary bonus every year, worth $100 in travel. That bonus alone effectively offsets the card's annual fee for most people who travel even occasionally. The American Express Gold Card earns 4x points at restaurants and 4x at US supermarkets. If you're a big spender in those two categories, the math on that card works out extremely well. Now, I'm not here to tell you which exact card to get, because that depends entirely on your life. But I am here to tell you that picking the wrong card, or just using whatever card you happen to open without thinking, is quietly one of the most expensive financial decisions most Americans make. Not because it costs you money directly, but because it costs you the opportunity to earn money back on every single thing you were already going to buy. Here's a simple framework for picking the right card. Step 1. Look at your last 3 months of spending. What are your biggest categories? Groceries, gas, dining, travel, Amazon, subscriptions. Whatever it is, identify your top 2 or 3.
Step 2. Find a card that maximizes rewards in those categories. If you spend mostly on groceries, find the best grocery card. If you spend mostly on travel, find the best travel card. Step 3. Think about sign-up bonuses. Most new cards offer a bonus if you hit a spending threshold in the first few months, usually something like $200 to $300 back after spending $500 to $1,000. If you know you have a big purchase coming up, a move, a trip, new appliances, whatever, time your application to capture that bonus. Step 4. Do not be afraid to have more than one card. Most people optimizing their rewards have 2 to 4 cards, one for grocery and dining, one for travel, one no annual fee everyday card as a backup. You do not need 50. You do not need to become obsessed, but 2 or 3 well-chosen cards will significantly outperform a single random card. And lastly, and this is important, do not stay loyal to a card out of habit. Credit card issuers change their offers, cut their benefits, and raise their fees. If a card stops making sense for your life, it is okay to move on. There is no penalty for shopping around. The only loyalty you owe is to your own financial interest. The through line, the fundamental rule. Okay, let me zoom out for a second, because underneath all 6 of these mistakes, there is one master principle, and if you remember nothing else from this video, remember this. A credit card is not your money. It is borrowed money, and you can make it work for you, beautifully in fact, but only if you play by one non-negotiable rule. Never spend money on your credit card that you do not have in your bank account to pay back in full. That rule is the foundation of everything. It is what separates people who use credit cards to build wealth from people who use credit cards to go broke. Think about it. The bank charges you 22% interest. That means if you're carrying a balance, you're paying 22% a year to access money you do not actually have. But if you never carry a balance, you're effectively borrowing money for free every single month while earning cash back, points, or miles on everything you spend. You get all the upside of credit card rewards with none of the downside. The banks make enormous profits from people who carry balances. In 2024 alone, Americans paid $160 billion in credit card interest charges. That's $160 billion that went from consumers' pockets to bank profits. And a massive portion of that was paid by people who thought they were doing okay because they were making payments, just not full payments. Do not be in that group. You now know better. Quick recap. Let's run through all 6 mistakes one more time so they stick. Mistake 1. Carrying a balance. The fix: pay your full statement balance every month. Automate it. Mistake 2. Making only the minimum payment. The fix is same as mistake 1. Full balance. Always. Set up autopay to the full statement balance. Mistake 3. Maxing out your credit limit. The fix: keep your utilization under 30%, ideally under 10%. Pay attention to your statement closing date, not just your due date. Mistake 4. Taking cash advances. The fix: never do it. There is no emergency that justifies 24% APR with no grace period and an upfront fee. Use your debit card or bank account. Mistake 5. Not using old credit cards. The fix: put one small recurring charge on your oldest cards and set them to autopay. Keep them active and keep them helping your credit history. Mistake 6. Using the wrong credit card. The fix: be intentional. Look at your actual spending. Match your card to your life. Capture sign-up bonuses. Do not stay loyal to a card that's not earning you anything. Final thought. Credit cards, used correctly, are genuinely one of the most powerful financial tools available to everyday Americans. Free travel, cash back on groceries, sign-up bonuses, consumer protections, extended warranties, zero-interest borrowing windows. These are real benefits that real people use to save thousands of dollars a year. But used incorrectly, they're one of the fastest ways to dig a financial hole that takes years to climb out of. Right now, $1.3 trillion in credit card debt is sitting on American consumers. 61% of people carrying that debt have been in it for over a year. 19% have been carrying it for over 5 years. You do not have to be one of those statistics. You have the information now. Use it. If this video helped you, do me a favor, share it with one person who you think needs to hear this. It could be a younger sibling who just got their first card, a friend who's always stressed about money, a coworker who mentioned they have too much credit card debt. Just one person. Send them this video. And if you want to go deeper, we have videos on building credit from scratch, how to choose the best travel credit card, how to get out of credit card debt fast, and a lot more. All of it is on this channel. Subscribe to the Money POV if you haven't already. We're here every week. I'll see you in the next one.